After working with PlayStation, Stellar Blade's developer Shift Up has decided that they are going to shift over to a different publisher for their next game. It's Project Spirits. We still don't know too much about it. We do know that it is supposed to be a subculture cross-platform title that takes inspiration from Eastern fantasy, but that's it. We don't know anything else. We don't know what kind of gameplay. We don't know anything about story or whatever. But we do know that it is going to be coming to PC and consoles and mobile, which is something that Stellar Blade did not do, but it is something that the previous game, Goddess of Victory Nike, did do. And they are going to be going back to their publisher for Goddess of Victory Nike. They are going to be going back to Tencent. So they are going to be using Tencent as their publishing brand. But what's more is they're actually going to be co-developing this game with Yongxing Interactive, which is a Tencent affiliate. So not only will they be publishing under Tencent, but they will actually be developing alongside an affiliate of Tencent. So they're going to be working very closely with them on this next project. In a recent statement put out by both, or on behalf of both companies, they said, leveraging Shift's Up expertise and their proven success with globally acclaimed IPs such as Goddess of Victory Nike and Stellar Blade, Level Infinite aims to deliver the next generation of gaming experiences to players worldwide. As part of this process, Level Infinite and Shift Up have further strengthened their strategic partnership to include both publishing and joint development. So Level Infinite is the publishing division of Tencent. That's their publishing brand. And Level Infinite is going to be the ones publishing the game, and then Yongxing Interactive is going to be the ones helping develop this game. So it's going to be a while, though, before we actually get to see what this game even is, let alone be able to play it, because a while back, Shift Up gave kind of a roadmap of what they were planning on doing. And they had the Stellar Blade sequel listed as 2027. And they've actually recently put out a kind of a call for developers who they're looking to hire for that game. There's they put a nice little graphic out of it, and it's really interesting to look at because if you look at the graphic, it looks like a city, possibly 807 from Stellar Blade, but you see a lot of people running around on the ground, which those areas were pretty much abandoned. All the people were in Zion, and granted, this could be Zion as well, but also there are floating cars if you look at the top of the screen, which there are no floating cars in Zion. So that might imply that this is actually a prequel to Stellar Blade, not a sequel. So there's evidence that that could be the case. Also, in the most recent update that they did back in October, we thought it was maybe like a Resident Evil collab or something like that, or maybe a Silent Hill collab. It wasn't. It was just kind of this in-game museum where you could just kind of walk around, and they left some comments from the developers about development and whatnot. But there is a statue of Raven in that museum, and when you click on that, it says that how she's popular and everything, and how there's they expect that we'll be seeing her again, which she's not dead. You could see her in a sequel, but at the same time, a lot of people kind of want to see a prequel because Raven is second airborne squad. Eve is 7th. So, Raven's been on Earth a lot longer. So, it could be that it's very possible that we could get a Raven prequel or a prequel to the game. It's definitely a high possibility. I wouldn't say probable. I don't know what's probable. But it's not a negligible possibility. It's just as easy as anything else. But anyway, different franchise. Back to Project Spirits. This IP, if you looked at that list when it listed the Stellar Blade sequel, Project Spirits is actually listed after that. So if Stellar Blade sequel comes in 2027, that means Project Spirits probably won't come until maybe either later in 2027 or 2028, possibly. So it seems like it's still a fair bit a ways off. Now, there probably are a few people out there who are a little bit disappointed that Shift Up is teaming up with Tencent, because Tencent recently doesn't have the best reputation when it comes to publishing games. They typically invest in either mobile games or games that have a lot of like loot boxes or, a lot of microtransactions, like League of Legends, that sort of thing. So a lot of people are thinking like, okay, when Tencent's involved, that means we're going to get a lot of predatory transactions. Apparently, a lot of the games under their banner do have pay to win elements where the game becomes far easier if you're willing to shell out extra money for it. And then also their recent deal with Ubisoft, where they invested $1.16 billion, euros, for 26.32 economic interest. They don't have direct control, but they are going to be profiting off of these Ubisoft IPs. They give you the money up front, and then Ubisoft takes the money, they use it, and then they get a cut of the profits. So they're kind of expanding their library out there. We saw back in the other companies have done this in the past. I mean, was it Embracer? Were they the ones who were buying up all the IPs and then ended up having to sell them off because they weren't being profitable? So looks like they're trying to do what Embracer was initially trying to do as well. But yeah, a lot of people are worried like, okay, this next game's going to be very microtransaction heavy. Which is extremely possible. But again, we don't know what to expect from this just yet. But yeah, anyway, as I said, not much is currently known about this game, but now we do know that it is going to be PC, console, and mobile. We do know that it is going to be published by Tencent, which does give us an idea as to what kind of game it probably will be. But for the rest, we're just going to have to wait and see.